Well, I have another beaver adventure to share with you, and I'm going to narrate this one a little bit. Please bear with me. Earlier today, August 8th, 2021, I was at the beaver pond, and the beavers have a secondary pond further down the gully. And I was down there when I noticed Mama Beaver heading away from the pond on the Meewasin Valley Authority's bike trail that they maintain along the river. We know this is the mother because you can see she's quite obviously missing a chunk of her tail, and we know that the beaver that's missing a chunk of her tail had noticeable breasts and nipples during the nursing season after the kits were born. So we know this is the adult female. I started videotaping her because it became apparent she was going to walk further away from the pond than she normally does. You'll probably hear some clicking here. She stops to smell, and I don't know if she's smelling because she's confirming that we're following her, or if she's smelling what type of vegetation she wants to go for, but she's clearly smelling. You can hear some clicking as we go because a fellow photographer, my friend Peter, was following along, and I very selfishly was blocking him most of the way because I got there first, I guess, and I was videotaping. It's kind of crazy as she keeps going. As she's walking up the hill here, a bike could come flying down the path at any time. I'm really worried that one of these days a beaver's going to get hit, but hopefully they'll hear the bikes. Anyways, she turned up this path and seems to have be smelling what she came for because shortly after this she headed up into the trees to chew down a few branches. And of course, we just watched to see what was going to happen. I decided I also wanted to film her coming back so that I could share a round trip. So you'll see shortly that the excursion ends as she gets into the trees, and then I just waited while she chewed down a few trees, and now she starts on her way back. So the rest of the trip I'm walking backwards down the dirt path which goes up and down and around. So I was worried I was going to trip and fall backwards, but I was trying to videotape her as I backed up, so it's a little shaky at times. She just keeps coming. It's crazy. She went quite a long ways away from the pond to get this food. If anyone's interested, just coincidentally, just in the last day or two, a lady at the University of Saskatchewan, a professor there named Dr. Sherry Westbrook, just did a study and published it about the beavers in the city of Saskatoon and south of the city of Saskatoon, comparing how the rural and urban beavers forage, how far they'll leave from their ponds and rivers to get food. That's one of the issues she explored. So look her up on Twitter. It's Sherry, Cherie, Westbrook, just how it's spelt. And you can read the article there. It's really interesting. I read it this afternoon. Anyways, Mama Beaver keeps coming towards the pond, and I'm backing up. And whenever Peter can see around my big fat butt, he's taking some pictures, and you can hear him clicking. You can also tell I'm out of breath because I'm not in the best shape of my life as I'm trying to hustle backwards down the path. But eventually we get down to her pond after this excursion, and she will find her path and then shuffle down into the pond. It was just really fascinating to accompany her, and I can't believe she went so far from the pond to find these little trees, which she probably could have found a lot closer to her pond. In any event, once I was past the little path that goes into her pond, I stopped, knowing she was heading down, and there she goes, and that was the end of our adventure. Hope you enjoyed it.